difficult in certain cases. You know, if your child doesn't already have a minor, already hasn't demonstrated something, and something occurs, but that's a case-by-case basis. I don't see anything in here that really jumps out at me as being problematic legally. But if I may add, Your Honor, that's with any law. You know, factually, anything can be sticky, any ordinance.
Yeah, but I mean, this is one of those. To me, I have difficulty with this. I have difficulty with assigning blame to somebody who, again, and we've tried to remove as much of that language as possible, and that makes sense. And it's really a matter of, say, the enforcing officer catching this whole situation and, say, red-handed, if you will. And as Mr. Coop said, we already have ordinances that are entirely enforceable that apply to this, and so it's just piling it on. And we've had this I mean, this has been going round and round, and there's some fairly controversial aspects to this, as have been brought up by the counselors up here. Is there a chance, say, to address one of Mr. Coop's concerns, that the county will change its ordinance language after it sees that the cities are doing something maybe more, I frankly think, more effective? Do you think there's a chance of that? This is an opinion thing, so clearly it's just your opinion, and they wouldn't have to. I mean, maybe once this thing is done, everybody wants to be done with it. It could be that, too.
My 2 cents, Mayor and council members, is after the county tried to adopt this and did adopt it, I think it was on a 3-2 vote, many of the municipalities looked at the issues they were having with that ordinance and tried to resolve those and make it more acceptable, and without taking the teeth, if you will, out of the ordinance. And that's where Chief Maltz, I think, did an excellent job in rewriting this. Is it possible that the county will readdress this? It's possible, but since they already have it in place, probably slim.
Right. Chief, you're where the rubber meets the road. Is this going to help you do your job?
This addresses the posting, not the providing alcohol. This was a good example would be if I'm leaving town, I didn't buy the alcohol, but as I'm loading up my car to go to the lake, the kids are arriving with the alcohol to my house, and I don't do anything to stop it. I know that there's going to be consumption of alcohol, and I took no steps to stop that. That's where I would be held responsible for this ordinance. It's not just the providing of alcohol.
Right.
It's providing a place to consume the alcohol.
Right. But is this going to help you?
I mean, so.
Because you're referring to this kind of as a parent, you're relating, but you're a cop too. I mean, it's different for you.
This ordinance addresses a loophole, and that's where the difference. If I'm buying the alcohol, that's one thing. But I'm not buying it. I'm just giving them an opportunity to consume on my property. So yes, this makes my job a little easier to enforce this ordinance.
So this is the first time I've heard the loophole referred to, but what you're telling me or telling us is that it's one thing to buy it, it's another thing to know that it's being consumed. And right now we don't have ordinance language or a law that addresses the knowing of the consumption. Is that true? Okay. Thank you. All right, I think what we have in front of us.
Question.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Trost.
Simple one.
Yeah.
I went to a party last week in Blakely Township, which has this, and they had a keg of beer. And on that keg of beer, there was a sign that said, "Must be 21 years old to consume this."
Right.
Is that enough? It was a very clear sign that you must be 21.
That is enough. As long as I know Johnny, who's 14, is drinking, and I don't turn the other cheek to it and don't pay attention to it, then I would be in violation of it. If Johnny sneaks the beer and I'm not aware of it, or if I become aware of it and I put a stop to it at that point, then I'm not in violation.
Well, there was no, I watched it, there was no one under 21 drink.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, if a parent is convicted of this, can that lead to charges of child abuse?
Again, it's a factual thing. This is providing a venue. So let's say you provide the venue and you watch this happen, you watch them doing, 100